it's Jen with Astrology. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about how the stars line up for the week of November 12th through 18th. So as you can see, it is football Sunday and it is getting close to kickoff time. So if you're a New Orleans Saints fan, everything is about, keeping with this, not getting jinxed. So this shirt's been working for me the last couple weeks, so I'm sticking with it, and hopefully they'll pull out another win this week. That'd be really nice. So anyway, starting off the week, we do start on the 13th with that new moon in Scorpio. So we already did a video on this. Definitely check that out. I'm going to put a prompt at the end of this video, and I'll also put a link in the description so you could check that out if you want to check that out first, and kind of get some hindsight. So also happening on the 13th, that's a very intense new moon. It's not just like the normal kind of just like, oh, let's start something, let's plant the seed. This one's a little more intense. We're coming off of eclipse season, and now we have this new moon in Scorpio, and there's a lot of intense aspects happening around it. So we also, on the 12th, we just came off of that Mars-Uranus opposition that really can fuel a lot of fires, that really can, cause a lot of changes, damage, and these are things that are going to go on for a while. It's not just going to be a one-day thing. I think this is going to be kind of a kickoff to, pretty much a year, I think, of just a lot of intensity, maybe up until November of 2024. So we start off the week with that new moon, and we have the sun on the 13th coming into an opposition with Uranus now. So this aspect can cause a lot of disruption, a lot of erratic behavior, a lot of things that we've been seeing. It was the build-up before, and then it's still going to be going on after, but this is happening during the new moon. So this is all kind of kicking off this new kind of what's going to be happening during this new moon phase. Or this cycle, actually. So you could find that you fight for changes in your everyday life, almost like a rebellious fight. Like, I am tired of this, I'm going to do things different. Going to be fighting against restrictions, but you want to try and be open-minded, because resistance, it can be futile, like the saying goes. So you may be frustrated, insecure, I just don't feel like doing that. Feel insecure of what you're capable of, and like things that you've been trying. It's like, you might want to give up even, you might just want to stop. That Uranus is that sudden change, like, I've been working on this and I'm done, I'm tired of it. So you may experience those, like, that highs, the lows, also understanding others, are going to be feeling the same. So you want to know, like, if somebody's going through a lot, and I think a lot of people right now are going through a lot. There's a lot of highs with passion of what people are thinking of what's going on around the world, and they're passionate about their stance. And then others, might feel a little bit repressed. So you want to be open-minded. You want to be able to see the other side. With this opposition, there's a lot of fighting against each other. We have Mars in that same opposition. So that's a lot of aggression. That's a lot with this Uranus, a lot of just unsettled. Everything feels a little bit unsettled. And like with the Mars one, still we have that, Mars-Uranus, we have the Mars in a water sign, and the new moon in a water sign, and then an earth sign. So like there could be issues with water, earth, maybe even oil, and that type of thing. So next on the 15th, we have Mercury that is up here in Sagittarius, and that is moving into a sextile with Libra, or Venus, that's in Libra. So you may feel like you want to kind of get away, like sick of the news, sick of listening to all this stuff. You just want to, clear your head. So you might want to go away, go on a trip somewhere where you can find that balance, get that Libra. Venus is very happy in Libra, so you might want to just really get that balance that you're really craving. Your brain is kind of wanting peace right now, the peace and tranquility from all the noise that's going on. it's a great time to be social with friends. We have, Mercury up here in Sagittarius, and, yeah, it is in its detriment up there, but it's also, it's Sagittarius, everyone, Sagittarius is just such a good, open, mutable sign that just is embracing, and it can be a little preachy, especially with Mars being or Mercury being in there. So, when you are social, I might want to try and steer away from some of the political topics that might cause some arguments. So if you are, one great thing you could do, I think especially with the Venus in Libra, maybe host like a crafting event for the holiday season. Make some holiday crafts, have some wine, have some, fun drinks, get together even for a book club. Mercury loves to read and learn because Mercury is in Sagittarius. Book club about learning something new. Maybe try a whole different topic. Oh, we do these romance one, now we're doing true crime or something like that. Try something a little bit different. So, partner that with some good wine, cheese, crackling fire in the fireplace, and you'll just feel like you're being carried away. You and your friends, just nice, relaxing, kind of Calgon take me away moment. Probably just aged myself a little bit saying that, but no one knows what that means. It was a commercial in the 70s for moms that were stressed. And I think there's a lot of stress going on right now. Everyone's kind of going back to school. We got the holiday season starting. I know myself, I haven't even started shopping yet, so I am, freaking out. So I'm usually halfway done by now. But anyway, just take some time for yourselves. We're actually going to do that. We're going to get away next week for the weekend, and it'll just be nice and do some shopping, and just a nice thing to do. Sure, a lot of money will be spent because we got that Venus there in Libra, and you know how that can be. So anyway, next on the 17th, we start off with Mars in Scorpio, and that is in a trine to Neptune. And then that's very shortly after, followed by the Sun coming into the trine of Neptune. So the Sun is really, keeping up close with Mars right now. So once that makes an aspect, the Sun makes one pretty much right after. We had the, the aspect with the opposition to Uranus, and now it's coming into a trine with Neptune. So the Mars trine has us feeling a bit oversensitive. You might want to fight for what you feel is right. We're seeing a lot of that going on in the world right now. But the fight may almost be too big for just you. You might need to back off. You might be biting off a little more than you can chew. It might be getting a little bit too intense. You might not fully understand everything. You think of Neptune, there's those blurry lines, everything's a little bit fuzzy. So you might not understand everything that you're fighting for. And, the information that you're getting might be unclear. A lot of people get information online and, through social media, and anybody could put it up. Like, I could be out there saying anything about anything, and someone could believe it. But, it doesn't necessarily mean it's true. So you want to do your research. You want to be clear about what you're fighting for. You don't want to come off as all full-heartedly, use that Mercury that's still up here in Sag to learn all you can. It could be about this current conflict of religions that kind of is going on right now, who's right, who's wrong, but don't be preachy, be informed. See the other side, understand what it is you're talking about, get the history of it, know before you go fighting with somebody else. There's so much tension right now, so we want to just get informed, really use that Mercury and Sagittarius to learn all you can, take in all the information, and not the false information, the real information, and find a reputable news source if that's so that you can know what you're fighting for. You got to watch that Neptune because it just keeps things a little bit fuzzy. Then we have with that Sun then coming into that trine, it can help you. It can have you helping others do the same. So use that knowledge that you're learning to guide those to also know the facts. Like, I heard that, but don't be preachy about it, but just say, I learned this also. So you might want to look into that too before we go flipping cars over in anger, who knows what, That's things that are going on, and especially in the United States right now, you're just seeing this, people painting stuff and painting things on cars and tipping over cars and just craziness, and just why does it have to be so extreme? Let's learn from each other, let's bring some peace and tranquility. We have that this nice sextile going on, and we just want that a little bit of peace and tranquility instead of all this intensity. So don't spread falsities. Pretty much don't spread something that you don't know as being fact. You want to break down those walls, break down that Neptune, actually build walls, like know something for sure before you go kind of spreading things, and that's just about even in everyday life. You don't want to start gossiping. This is a very almost a gossipy type thing. You want to watch that. You don't want to spread things about people or believe things about people, no matter who it is. Maybe people in the workplace, maybe your friends, if you're in school. You don't want to just believe everything you hear. Somebody could be just trashing somebody because, you got that Mars up there with that opposition with Uranus is still coming off of that. So, people could just want to I'm just going to start something and I'm just going to do this, and I don't care who it affects. And this is kind of the things we got to look out for with all this tension going on right now. People are feeling tense. They want to get that aggression out, and sometimes they'll do it in the wrong ways. So then lastly, on the 18th, we have the sun coming into a conjunction with Mars in Scorpio. I think that's the last thing. Did I miss something here? 17. No, I think that is it. Oh, yeah, we did. I thought I missed something. That seemed to be going by pretty quick. Anyway, so the sun comes into a conjunction with Mars in Scorpio. And now this aspect is about kind of being a leader, leading that fight, that militant cause. This can be, because the sun with Mars, we still have that kind of opposition. It's a little bit of separating opposition now with that Uranus. It can be almost cruel, vindictive. It can be, we have this all going on in Scorpio, don't forget. So how, Scorpio can be. They don't forget. They don't change. Once you hurt somebody that is a Scorpio, they're not going to forget that. And, you got to watch that vindictiveness. You exert yourself sometimes places where it's not appreciated. So maybe you're overexerting and getting into something that you don't need to be getting involved in. Butting your nose where it doesn't belong, maybe. Kind of, putting yourself in the middle of something that really shouldn't even include you. There is, and this could be in a personal way and on a broader factor. Don't get involved where you don't need to get involved, and because you could end up hurting yourself or other people. Same thing with countries getting involved and things like that. So there is an increase in that unbridled energy, kind of looking for that outlet, and this is where you could just you're getting involved with things that you don't really need to be getting involved in, because it is a mundane transit. You want to see how this is going to affect you in your own chart. So of course you want to pull your own chart up and see where these transiting planets are hitting on your personal planets, luminaries, angles. But it's pretty much on a mundane level. We can have one side starting and the other side standing up. So we have one side starting an operation or starting something, and then the other side standing up and fighting back. So we're already seeing this. We're already seeing the beginnings of this. Again, I don't feel that it's going to go away anytime soon. There's that overall feeling of this omnipotence to this aspect. Pretty much like, I'm going to do whatever I want to do, and I'm, unbreakable, and this is, but we really are. So, nothing is unbreakable, nothing is unharmable. So you got to be careful there. It is happening in Scorpio, so that vengeance is there. Not just saying this. Scorpio is just rotten, but because I'm going to have a grandbaby that's going to be a Scorpio, so there's positives there too. But with the aspects that are going on all around, it's just a lot of negative energy. It can be like that kind of hostile. Mars in Scorpio can be hostile, vindictive, destructive, can be driven. Sun in Scorpio also has that intensity and that vengeful kind of obsessiveness. It's also, ruled by Pluto. So, Scorpio can just get very obsessive, and very passionate about things, overly passionate. Now, I know that sounds all doom and gloom, but look at it kind of like a warning. So again, and I think I've said this on prior videos, when you're knowing what the astrology has and you're knowing what's going to be coming up, you can know, like, when you start feeling like you're a little set off, say, oh, you know what? That's that opposition, or that's that Sun-Mars conjunction in Scorpio, and that's hitting this on my chart, or this is what's going on in the world, so I need to be prepared and I need to be cautious. So you want to take a step back and, and see before, when you know this stuff, how things could be affecting you in the near future. How things are going to be affecting the world in the near future. So you can see, like, oh, okay, and a friend of mine actually just said, oh, I saw something about a grid going down somewhere. You really called that one because of that whole the Mars-Uranus opposition. He's like, yeah, it's really starting to show. So, things are going to be coming out. You can see almost, maybe not right in your backyard, but around the world, how this astrology is really playing out. And it's going to continue playing out, I think, for the rest of this year into 2025. So you want to always be alert. You want to be aware. And you always want to know, your surroundings, kind of, take everything in. And when you go to a place, take everything in, especially this time of year. You're going to go Christmas shopping, or, any kind of, holiday shopping that you might be doing. You're walking out of places, and I've heard of people, following people out to their cars. So you want to be aware, situation awareness, and know what's going on around you, and be ready that if something happens, know what your kind of escape plan is going to be. So it always is better to be safe than sorry. And people are always stealing nowadays. I get more credit cards getting hacked when people are calling into work. And so you just want to be aware of what's going on around you, because there are, a lot of bad aspects going on right now. So I expect a lot more negativity before we get to the positivity going on. So keep up with what this universe is trying to tell us, and please subscribe and get notified so we can kind of work through all these fun aspects together. And you be safe, y'all, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.